Hello, everybody. This is Ms. Jacqueline. I hope you're all doing well. Please stay safe at home. Now, for today's lesson, which is my very first lesson, of course, I will be teaching you guys about grammar. Now, we will be taking a new reference, which is reference 29, simple sentences, compound parts, and fragments. Now, this is on page 107 on your books, okay? On your students' books. Now, what I want from you while you are watching this, please write down every single thing that you're going to see right here on your notebooks. So please, all of you, open up your notebooks and write this down, okay? Just like the way I taught you during school, just like the way we did it on school days, okay? Nothing different. Now, all of you be with me step by step while I explain this topic because it needs a full attention, okay? Focus carefully. Now, as you can see, you have to write first of all the title of the reference and next to it the number of the page because this is very important. You gotta know the number of the page because that will help you to find it on your books. So, first thing first, what is a simple sentence? Now, that's the whole reference all about. What is a simple sentence? Okay. So, a simple sentence is one complete sentence. It expresses a complete thought. So, what does it do? What is a simple sentence? It is one complete sentence. So, it has a subject, it has a verb, it has an end mark, okay? It has a capital letter at the beginning. So, it has all these things with it. That's why it's going to be a complete sentence. Now, a complete sentence, we call it a simple sentence, okay? So, and what does it do? It expresses a complete thought. So, because it is a complete sentence, of course, it's going to express a complete thought. It will give you a whole complete thought. You will understand the whole sentence. That's what it means by a complete thought. It means you're going to understand this whole simple sentence. Now let's see. What is the abbreviation for a simple sentence? Abbreviation, we can say short term or we can say the label, okay? So I have many things, remember, when we took so many abbreviations. So the abbreviation or the short term for the simple sentence is the letter S. So capital S, the letter S in capital, it is the abbreviation of a simple sentence. Okay? So this is what you need to know about a simple sentence. Now we're going to go to some examples right here. So the first example, the puppies whined for their supper. What did the puppies do? They whined for their supper. Okay? So this is an understood sentence, right? You can understand everything in this sentence, and it's a complete sentence. It has a complete thought. I can understand this sentence very clearly. That's why we can call it a simple sentence. When I understand this sentence, when it has a complete thought, so it's going to be a complete sentence. And what do we call a complete sentence? Simple sentence. What do we call it? A simple sentence. And what is the abbreviation of a simple sentence? Right here, the letter S. What is the abbreviation? The letter S. That's the abbreviation of a simple sentence. Now to the next example. I have many examples right here. So it's very important for you guys to write down every single thing that I'm explaining. Okay, so like what is the definition of a simple sentence? You're gonna write the abbreviation just like the way I did and some of the examples that I gave you here. Okay, so this is very important. When you go back and study this, it will give you more ideas and you will understand it even more. Okay, So examples are very important thing when it comes to a new topic. Now, the cheerleaders yelled for their team. What did the cheerleaders do? They yelled for their team because obviously they want their team to win. So, do you understand this sentence? Yes, I fully understand it. So that means it is a complete sentence. So we can say this is a simple sentence because we can understand it very clearly. The third example, the children sang the teacher a song. So what did the children do? They sang the teacher a song. So here, this is a full sentence. I can understand it very clearly. So do you, okay? So what do we call a sentence when it's a complete sentence and when you can understand it very good? We call it a simple sentence. And what is the abbreviation of a simple sentence? The letter S. Now, the last example, which is number 4, Anna rode a pony at the fair. Anna rode a pony at the fair. So this is also another complete sentence. I can understand it. You can also understand it. So we call this a simple sentence. It's very easy, okay? When you ever see a sentence that you can fully understand and it has a complete thought, that means it is called a simple sentence. All right, now after we finished from what is a simple sentence, now we're going to come and see what a simple sentence has. It has compound parts, okay? You see how I underlined it? That's how you're going to write it in your notebooks because this is very important. Now, what are compound parts? I already taught you this. It means either a compound subject or a compound verb. Now, a compound subject, it means when you have two subjects together. Like, for example, Anna and Lena. Anna and Lena. What about a compound verb? A compound verb when you have two verbs together. Like, for example, whined and barked. Whined and barked. So these are two verbs together. They make a compound verb, even though it all expresses only one complete thought. So even though you have a compound subject or a compound verb in a simple sentence, but it all is going to explain one complete thought. Okay, so all of it will only express one complete thought. Okay, now here, a simple sentence with a compound subject. So if you have a compound subject in a simple sentence, which means two subjects together, so what do we have the abbreviation for that? The abbreviation will be SCS. Again, SCS. As you can see, I wrote it down in red because it's important. I might ask you, what is the abbreviation for a simple sentence with a compound subject? What about a simple sentence with a compound verb? SCV. SCV. S, it means simple sentence. CV, it means compound verb. CS means compound subject. So you see, it's just the first letter of the word. S means simple sentence. CS is compound subject. CV is compound verb. It's very easy, and I already taught you these abbreviations before during school time, okay? Now I'm going to give you some examples. Pay attention very carefully. When I say, the dog and the puppies whined for their supper, you see how I underlined? Here we have two subjects. So when I have two subjects together, what do I call them? Compound subject. Compound subject. Dog, puppies. Two subjects together, they will make a compound subject. And what is the abbreviation for that? You're going to say a simple sentence, which is SCV, which is compound subject. So here we have a simple sentence with a compound subject. What is the abbreviation? What is the label for that? SCS. SCS. Simple sentence with a compound subject. Another example, the cheerleaders and the fans yelled for their team. Cheerleaders and the fans. Two subjects together. So we have a simple sentence with a compound subject. What is the abbreviation for that? Again, SCS. SCS. Simple sentence with a compound subject. Okay, and what about a compound verb? If we have a sentence with a compound verb, here are two more examples. The puppies whined and barked for their supper. The puppies whined and barked for their supper. Whined and barked. What do we have here? Two verbs together. So this is a simple sentence with a compound verb. What is the abbreviation for that? SCV. SCV. Another example. The fans clapped and cheered for their team. Clapped and cheered. What do we have here in a simple sentence? A compound verb, which mean two verbs together. So what do we call a sentence, a simple sentence with a compound verb? What is the abbreviation for that? SCV. SCV. The S is simple sentence. CV is compound verb. S again is a simple sentence. CS is a compound subject. Please, you gotta be careful and you gotta write this down, all of it. I hope you understand it all very simple way and very clearly. Now, here, after we knew what is a simple sentence and what does it have, now we're going to go to another type of sentence, which is a sentence fragment, or we can say fragment sentence. So, here we have a question and we're going to give the definition of a fragment sentence. A sentence fragment does not express a complete thought. So what does it do? It doesn't express a complete thought. So it's totally the opposite of a simple sentence. Simple sentence expresses a complete thought. But what about this one? A fragment sentence? No, it doesn't express a complete thought. Why? You're going to say because it always has one or more parts missing. Because it has some parts missing out there. That's why it's not complete. Okay? You see, I even underlined it to you and I made it in red. Does not express a complete thought. So a simple sentence and a fragment sentence are totally the opposite. Simple sentence, it expresses a complete thought because it doesn't have anything missing out there. But the fragment sentence is totally the opposite. It doesn't express a complete thought. Why? It's not complete. It's not a complete sentence. Why is that? Because it always have some of the parts missing out there. Okay? Always has one or more parts missing. Okay. Now, after we know it's not a complete thought or a complete sentence, so what is the abbreviation for this sentence? A fragment sentence. So the abbreviation is the letter F, okay? Capital F. Just like simple sentence. Simple sentence, the abbreviation of it is capital S, but a fragment sentence, the abbreviation of it is a capital F, okay? The letter F. So please, you gotta differentiate between the two sentences and the abbreviation. Now, I'm going to give you examples. Please pay attention. Slept for an hour. Slept for an hour. Do you understand this? Is it a complete thought? No, because it's missing a subject. You see here? I even wrote it to you in yellow. That's what it's missing in this sentence. So here, slept for an hour, it is a fragment sentence. Why? Because it's not expressing a complete thought and it's missing one of the parts, which is the subject. Okay? I don't understand this. It's not a full sentence. It's not a complete sentence. So I'm going to call it a fragment sentence because it's missing the part subject. We don't have a subject in this sentence. Okay? Next example. 2 angry lions in the jungle. Okay, so what about it? What about the 2 angry lions in the jungle? I don't understand. So it's missing a verb. What did they do? I want to know what did they do? So you see here, it's missing the part verb. Just like in the yellow, you see? Verb. So it doesn't have a verb. That's why we're going to call it a fragment sentence because it's not complete. It's missing a part. Okay? It doesn't express a complete thought. Look at number 3. As we walk to mom. Okay, then what happened? As we walked to mom, what happened? So it's not fully understood. It doesn't have a complete thought. You see here? Just like in the yellow, it doesn't have a complete thought. I don't understand it. What happened then? You see? So this is a fragment sentence. Number 4. For a swim after school. Okay, what is for a swim after school? I don't understand this. It's missing punctuation. We don't have punctuation in here. For a swim after school. Okay, so when we have missing parts in a sentence, you don't understand it anymore. When you don't understand this sentence, it means it doesn't have a complete thought. And when it doesn't have a complete thought, what do you call this sentence? Fragment sentence. What do you call it? Fragment sentence. And what is the abbreviation for a fragment sentence? The letter F. Capital F. All right. After we knew what is a simple sentence as well as a fragment sentence, now we're going to come and check out the new kind of sentence, which is a run-on sentence. So what is this run-on sentence? Basically, when you have 2 sentences and you want to put them together, you want to write them together as one sentence, okay? You want to put them together to make one full sentence, but without being punctuated correctly, like you didn't put any punctuation in the correct way. That's going to make a run-on sentence and not a simple sentence, okay? Now, I already explained this to you guys. When it comes to writing, punctuation is very important. If you don't punctuate your sentences, your paragraphs, it's going to be wrong, okay? That's not correct and it will be considered wrong. Now, let's go and check examples. Here, you're going to understand more. Now, look at the first one. They have a baby. His name is Steve. How many sentences do we have here? 2. So we have 2 sentences and I put them together to make one sentence. But what is wrong in this sentence? It's not punctuated correctly. That's why we can't call it a simple sentence and it's going to be a run-on sentence because we didn't put punctuation in the correct way. It's not punctuated correctly. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to correct this. How am I going to correct this? By changing it into a simple sentence. Okay, how am I going to change it into a simple sentence? By putting on punctuation correctly. So when I put punctuation and I change it into a simple sentence, I'm going to fix this run-on sentence. Now what you got to do is you got to check the last thing you have at the end of the sentence. You see S and S. What is that? It means you got to change these 2 sentences into 2 simple sentences. So what I'm going to do first is that I'm going to put a slash right here. You see the red slash? I'm going to put a slash between these two sentences so I can differentiate, so I can tell which one is which, okay? Now, after that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to fix the first one. How? By capitalizing the first letter and putting an end mark. This is how I punctuate correctly. You capitalize the first letter and then you put an end mark at the end of the sentence. This is how you correct a run-on sentence. The same thing with the other sentence. His name is Steve. I'm going to capitalize the first letter and I'm going to put an end mark at the end of the sentence. I already taught you this. Remember the complete sentence? This is the same, okay? This is how you fix it by putting the correct punctuation. Capitalize the first letter like this one. I did it in red. And you put an end mark at the end. Now let's go to the other sentence. My mom is painting the house. My dad is painting the house. So you have two sentences putting together in one. Now, how am I going to correct this run-on sentence? By punctuation correctly, okay? I'm going to punctuate this whole sentence in a correct way. What am I going to change it to? You have the answer right here. SCS. It means I'm going to change it into a simple sentence by putting a compound subject. So I'm going to change it into a simple sentence with a compound subject. Now, first of all, I'm going to put a slash so I know how many sentences do we have. I'm going to put a red, like this, a red slash between the two sentences, and then I'm going to change. What I'm going to do, I can tell that they are asking me compound subject. It means I'm going to put two subjects together. Mom and dad are the subjects. So I'm going to put them together. I'm going to say my mom and dad are painting the house because literally you have the same verb in both of the sentence. So what you're going to do here is that you're going to put two subjects together to make a compound subject, just like the way they're asking from you. And you're going to change it into this. My mom and dad are painting the house. And you're going to put an end mark at the end. Okay? So I changed it into a compound subject because that's what they are asking from me. Okay? You got to know what they are asking from you, and that's what you are going to change it to. Okay? Compound subject, mom and dad, two subjects together. So I have two sentences together, right? And they're not punctuated correctly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fix them by putting correct punctuation. They're asking for me to change it into SCV, simple sentence with a compound verb. So I'm going to put a slash first to differentiate. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put two verbs together. The verb in the first sentence and the verb in the other sentence. Washing, drying, washing, drying. These are the two sentences that I have, two verbs, that I have to put together. So this is how I'm going to create a compound verb by putting the two verbs together. The verb in the sentence, the first sentence, and the verb in the other sentence. So I'm going to say, Sarah is washing and drying the dishes. You see here? What did I create here? A compound verb. So I'm going to say washing and drying. I put the two verbs together to make a compound verb. So they're going to ask you for a compound subject, which you're going to put two subjects together, and they're going to ask you a compound verb, which you're going to put two verbs together, like this one. You see, this is how I corrected the run-on sentence. Okay, now, after this, I'm going to, again, tell you what are the types of sentence that I just explained during this reference. So now, how many types of sentence do we have? 3. How many types? 3. Simple sentence, which was the first one. Simple sentence with a compound subject or a compound verb. and then fragment sentence. So how many types of sentence did we explain? 3. Simple sentence without anything, and then simple sentence with a compound subject or a compound verb, which was the second one, and then the fragment sentence. What is a simple sentence? A complete thought. What does it express? A complete thought. What about fragment sentence? No, it doesn't express a complete thought. Okay? This is how you differentiate between the two kinds of sentences. This one, simple sentence, it expresses a complete thought. But the other one, a fragment sentence, no, it doesn't express a complete thought. After we finished everything, this is the end part of this whole video, which is questions time. Now, my dear students, after you got everything in your notebooks, after you understand everything, I'm going to give you these questions so you can do it at home. When you do these questions, it will be a lot more easier for you to understand this whole subject. Now look at question number 1. Identify the kind of sentence by writing the abbreviations on the line. So you're gonna tell me what type of sentences are these? How? By writing the abbreviation. So you have the abbreviations right here. Look at the blue one, like the blue writing. S, F, C, SCS, sorry, and SCV. S, F, SCS, and SCV. This is simple sentence. F is fragment sentence. SCS is simple sentence with a compound subject. SCV is a simple sentence with a compound verb. So I did the first one. Look at the example and then do me the others. You have to write this down in your notebook and do it for yourselves, okay? Because this will help you a lot. Trust me, okay? Trust your friendly teacher, okay? Now, David and Jack made their mother a card. Now, what type of sentence is this? Write me the abbreviation right here in the line. You see the lines that I did for you? So, you have David and Jack. What do you have? This is a simple sentence, right? And what do you have in this simple sentence? CS, two subjects together, which is a compound subject. So what I'm going to say, this is SCS, because I have clearly a simple subject, a simple sentence, sorry, with a compound subject. Okay, what do I have here? Simple sentence with a compound subject, David and Jack. So that's the kind of this sentence. Now you have to do me the other 3, okay? Julie rode the bus to school, swimming in the pool. They read and talked during their free time. This is so easy, okay? All you gotta do is to put the kind of sentence in the blank, okay? What kind of sentence is this? You gotta pay attention very carefully. Now let's go to the other question. Question number 2. Add the part that is underlined to make each fragment a complete sentence. So here I gave you a fragment sentence. It's not complete, right? So I'm asking from you this. I already did the first one. Look at it. I'm asking both subject and predicate part. So I gave you a fragment sentence, right? And it's not complete. How am I going to make it complete? By adding a part from my own. You're going to add a part from your own according to what they are asking from you. I'm asking subject and predicate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, Josh and Lena played cheerfully after the storm yesterday. So what did I add? You see, compound, subject right here. And here you have the predicate part. You have subject and predicate. Okay? That's what I add according to what they asked from me. Now, what about the second one? You will do it. Walked in the park. I want you to only add a subject to this sentence to make it a complete sentence. So what are you going to add? Okay, you have to think very carefully. Walked in the park. I want you to add subject to this sentence. So what are you going to say? Just follow the steps that I taught you, and I'm very confident about you guys, and you will do it perfectly. All I want to say at the end, thank you so much for listening, and I wish you all the best, my dear students. And please stay safe at home and do your best in studying, okay? I love you all so much, and good luck.